Hey there everyone, and welcome to more RPG Horror Story Cringe with DnD Doge. In today's episode, we have a tale about a player that can't accept that a half-drow character can't be anything but evil. Then, we have a story about why sometimes a game can have too many players. But before we get into that, a special message from Lucky, the like and comment kitty. Thanks, bud. I hope they do. But with that said, let's get into these stories. I'm a huntin' drow. Submitted to the DnD Doge subreddit by Reddit user Sakura Khan. Hi gang. I'll try not to bother you for too long, but I wanted to share this story with you because one of two reasons. One, I knew the OP personally. We were friends in middle school, but we lost contact because of real-life issues. And two, I need advice in case this happens to me or other players. Here's our cast, using character names for relevancy, and only mentioning the important characters. Lucian, the poor victim of the story. The player herself was shy and dealing with some real-life problems, so she uses games and writing stories as a way to escape from her problems. I've known her personally since we were in middle school, so you can consider us really close. Luxia, our problem player. He was a bit of a jerk even before the game, but more on that later. And DM, DM. There were 3 other players, though I don't remember their character names or the class they played, and sorry, because they're not as relevant as the others, I'm not going to add them. With that said, let's get to the story. For context, this happened at the early week of January, and since I tend to write down most of the things I want to bring to light, everything starts to come full circle from time to time. Anyway, Lucian and I met on a Discord server and started to reconnect after basically being away for what felt like a decade. She told me about some harsh reality things that she had been going through, and respectfully, I won't go into detail with it, and how she's coping. She tells me she's going to play D&D with some people she met, and asked me if I wanted to play. I unfortunately had to tell her no, but that I'd gladly watch the game. And with that, this is when our story begins. I joined the campaign as a mute watcher, and Lucian introduces me to the DM and the other players. I couldn't really speak myself since I was on mobile, and speaking on my phone is absolutely bonkers. Anyways, session 0 goes as followed. Luxia. So, is she playing? Lucian. No, she's just watching the game. I asked the DM if it was okay. DM. It's fine, so long as she doesn't speak during the game. Also, if I have any questions, I want to PM the conversation to avoid getting distracted. Now, I asked for you all to come up with 2 different character concepts. Do we have them ready? The concepts were in case the character dies or is retired, and judging from how our characters are named, you know who we're starting as. Luxia's characters. Luxia, a female variant human battlemaster fighter. He was a soldier of a private military campaign that devotes themselves to the goddess of war. Her mission is to complete her patron's wishes to find a powerful spellcaster that carries a powerful sacred text that was taken from the church. Alignment, chaotic good. Kaga, a female orc berserker barbarian. Her rage is the cause of an addiction to a green liquid that she keeps in a heavy supply. Her story is to find her father and challenge him for the throne of her tribe. Alignment neutral. Lucian's characters. Lucian, a male half-elf drow barlock, an elegance bard plus fey warlock, with the features of a winged tiefling who smells of coal, has peach skin, and dark raven wings that can spur out at will. His wings only last for 1 minute, but it's said that, had his devil parent married one of his own kind, the wings would have been permanent. Despite this flaw, Lucian can use his flight to act as a scout or scurry away from danger. His mission is to find a human woman who he fell in love with, but with very little clues, so he sought an adventuring party to help him. Alignment, chaotic neutral. Farkas, a male half-elf paladin of glory. He was a member of a paladin outfit devoted to the goddess of good health, and practice their rituals by healing and protecting the innocent and poor. His mission is to find the mystery behind a letter that was left behind by a female tourist who had strange similarities to his late sister. Alignment, lawful good. Luxia. Wait, you can't do that. Lucian. Do what? Luxia. DM said we can't multi-class. You can only pick one. Lucian. Okay, I'll go with Bard. I want him to be suave and deceptive, but I also want to be our DPS. Can I take a feat for Warlock? DM. I'll allow it. 15 minutes after revising her character, me and DM were going over the available subclasses for Bard with her. Lucian. Okay, I'll have Eldritch Blast and Mind Sliver as my cantrips, and Arms of Hadar as my spell. Luxia. What's your alignment? Lucian. I'm chaotic neutral. Luxia. Your character sounds evil. DM wants our characters to be good. DM. She's free to be anyone she wants, so long as she doesn't intentionally do anything to kill or hurt the party. If I think she'll be a problem, then she can just as easy revise her character or create a new one. Lucian. I'll actually have him be deceptive and charismatic. I based him off of Trellis, the Amulet book series, and some other characters I like. Luxia. I don't care. I don't want to ally with anyone who is evil. I demand you change your character, or you'll regret it. Unfortunately, this threat was meant to be taken seriously. Coming into session 1, we start introducing everyone, and Lucian's introduction to the party goes as far as this. DM. You're all meeting in a chamber room. It's a place where adventurers would like to submit their quest through a bulletin board. Sign your name, and you're giving your word that you'll help this adventurer in need, until death do you part. After signing your name, you'll get this chance to introduce yourselves to the party mates. How will you do it? Lucian. I am Lucian, son of Trebescus, a drow parent, and Armada Tarolo, a human parent. I'm in need of adventurers who will help me in finding someone. Luxia. You reek of coal, elf, and your name speaks like the devil. I refuse to help you. A player. But you signed your name, and the rule was. Luxia. Death to the wicked. I refuse to aid this Virgil in finding his Dante. Did he just use a Devil May Cry reference? Hell, with the way he sounds, I hope his character meets Ebony and Ivory. Me. Wait, what? DM. Because of your loud behavior, Kaga, you are told to keep your voice down, or you'll be thrown out. Luxia. No, this devil should be the one dehumanized. He was just trying to hex me. DM playing a guard. Is this true, elf? Lucian. No, certainly not. I'm only asking for help, but this woman is being unreasonable. Luxia. He's lying. He should be the one thrown out, not me. The guard. I'm sorry, but I'll have to ask the both of you and your party to leave. You're causing a scene, and I won't be responsible for any deaths or injuries you cause to each other. Lucian. Certainly, sir. Luxia. I still say you're throwing away the wrong man. No matter, I should have known you commoners were all the same. Skipping ahead to nearing the end of session 1, the party is camping for the night after their encounter with a bandit camp. Luxia. I sneak into Lucian's tent and try to slit his throat. DM. Lucian isn't in his tent. He's on a high top tree. And I'm not allowing PvP. So no, you're not allowed to do that. Luxia. But he's asleep. He won't even notice. Lucian. I'm not asleep. I'm on night watch. Luxia. Then I want to grab my bow and shoot you. And I say when I do, off with the devil. DM. No, you're not. Luxia. We cannot allow this bastard to hex us any longer. May he burn in the hells of which he was conceived. I rolled a 19. DM, sighing angrily. Lucian, you hear fighters screaming at the top of her lungs about you. Lucian, trying her best not to break down. I narrowly avoid the arrow and consciously use my wings to land safely from the high tree. DM. Players, do you hear this? The other players. Yes. Some decide to climb out and see what's going on, or to stay inside their tents. Player: Luxia, what are you doing? Luxia: being rid of this devil. He's from the Underdark, and he'll bring us down with him if we allow him to live. DM: Lucian never said that he was from the Underdark. He said he's from insert homebrew village here. Luxia: the point still stands. He's a menace to society, and he'll kill us if we allow him even another second to breathe. Just look at his devilish wings, his reeking stench of death, his clothes. He's a menace that shouldn't be given the chance to share the same company as us. Lucian, sighing: do you mind if I speak of my innocence, Luxia? Luxia: you have 2 minutes, Spawn. Lucian: I have wings, yes, but I can't use them for long because of my human parent. Had my father married one of his kind, these wings would be permanent, and I assure you that you have my word. I have no intention of killing or harming any of you. Luxia: you're lying. You bastard devils are made to be a menace to humanity. That's your only purpose. You smell of the dead, elf, and you admitted that you have a devil as a parent. That means you're evil, and I refuse to be a friend with a devilish man. Lucian: I'm sorry I vex you so much, Luxia, but I want this to be made clear. I need you to help me find someone. You signed your name, and unfortunately, you cannot take back what's already done. But I swear, once my mission is done, you will never see me again. Luxia: I only wish I wouldn't see you now. A player: sorry, Lucian, just try to bugger her out. Lucian: certainly. The next day, they were planning on staying in a town, but no one knows any particular directions to one, nor did anyone think of bringing a map or a carriage. And so, reasonably so, a player brings something to light that happened last night. Player: hey Lucian, you said you had wings, right? Maybe you could scout for us. Lucian: oh, of course. I'm going to fly up and see what's ahead. DM: you see what looks like. Luxia, interrupting: as soon as Lucian is in the air, I grab my bow and shoot him. Player: oh god, not again. Luxia: I told you, I won't partner with this beast any longer. I rolled a 19. DM: I'm not allowing PvP. Luxia: I fire my bow, damn it. 17. DM: Luxia, I made it a rule, no PvP. So no, you don't shoot Lucian, but you do shoot a bird that was about to take flight. Player: what in the hell are you doing? Luxia: killing this devil, an 18. Even as he's getting kicked, you can hear Luxia scream over and over all these random numbers that he gets off his dice rolls. But hey, he eventually gets that natural 20, 6 tries later. But jokes aside, the DM immediately kicks Luxia, but the hurt is already done. Behind her screen, Lucian is upset and she tries to wiggle her way out. When I go to see how she's doing, she tells me that Luxia has sent her message after message. Some religious, some not exactly religious, and he even threatened her by telling her to unalive herself. Keep in mind, she's already dealing with a lot of crap, and this guy is just rubbing more salt into the wound. As pissed off as I was, I tell her to block him, and I promise to bring this up to the DM. With this brought up to light, it doesn't take long for us to get our happily ever after, as he's been reported and blocked from all of DM's games. As for Lucian, she and I are reconnecting at long last, and I'm happy to say that she's doing a bit better than how she started out. She's even got through her character's mission before deciding that she's retiring her character, and also maybe the hobby entirely so that she can deal with life. At the moment, she's watching Critical Role thanks to me introducing her to the series, and Vox Machina. But if she's not nerding out, she's writing fanfiction or doing whatever catches her fancy to cope with whatever gets her down. And that's the end of our story. Thanks for reading, and have a safe 2023. Jesus, how the hell did everyone deal with Luxia being in that game for that long? Just the first instance of not wanting to play with Lucian's character was a bit much. I can understand having a little bit of inter-party conflict, But in the end, you should have characters that will work together, whether it be by choice or circumstance. The moment that it was clear that Luxia wasn't going to play ball, the DM should have pulled him aside and asked if the character was 100% not going to work with Lucian. And when he would say yes, the DM should have then said something along the lines of, "Okay, well then, make a new character that will." It's good that the DM did eventually kick Luxia after the umpteenth time that they acted out, but by God, it should have been much sooner. Then for Luxia to send Lucian all those harassing messages, this dude was just straight up unstable. Hopefully, Lucian does eventually get into the hobby again, and as for my advice to players and DMs alike, just don't tolerate this type of behavior. If it can't be talked out, just kick them. Man, that was a bit of a long one, but it looks like we have time for one more short story. So let's get into it. I played a martial character in a large caster party. By Reddit user, Dream of Days. I joined a game through Roll20 for a 5e campaign starting at level 5. Session 0 came, the party was formed, backstories made, and interconnected. There were 7 players total, including me, and in the first session, we established the narrative of who everyone was, and why we were traveling together in a caravan. The first combat happened, and we had to fight a group of monstrous wolves and tribal druids who attacked the caravan. I went first in initiative and hid, using my longbow to attack an enemy from range. I rolled to hit, did sneak attack damage from being hidden, and ducked behind cover. End my turn. It was 45 minutes until my turn came back around. I came out from cover, did sneak attack, then hid behind the corpse I just crafted using an arrow and a direwolf. Then it was 55 minutes until my next turn. I came out, fed a healing potion to my downed ally and employer, went back behind cover, which I found out was named George before he became a corpse, and hid as a bonus action. Then it was another 40 minutes until my next turn. I came out of cover, shot the last dude, and initiative ended. I spent almost 3 hours of my free time to make 2 attacks and listen to 5 of the 6 players fail to plan their turn until everyone was waiting on them. One dude was decent and his turn went very fast, but the others, dear God, they were bad. I ended up not playing with that group, citing the high player count, and left. Yeah, that sounds like that would have been a drag to play in that group. I can understand that in a big group like that, it could take a while to get back around to your turn, but almost an hour each time is a bit overkill. That just tells me that the other players probably weren't paying attention to the combat when it wasn't their turn, and were probably doing something else during it. So I don't blame OP for leaving that group. If you're not having fun, then what's the point in staying? But that will do it for today. As always, I appreciate all of you, and may your games remain horror story free. Until next time.